Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For Nerds by Nerds, I am Nerdarchist Ted, and tonight we're going to play some Zoo Mafia. I am your Zookeeper, your GM for this particular game. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is session 9, right, Dave?
That is correct. I do not have to correct
So
you.
we're closing in on the end of this particular campaign. As we're doing things a little bit differently this time, as opposed to them being zoo animals, they're fully anthropomorphized characters in a Zootopia style city of Furton City. Our illustrious mob here has been, hard at work trying to impress one Bunny Malone to join her ever-growing ranks in the borough of Scarborough. They've had some ups and downs and are currently on a mission of bringing down King Tom and his alley cats. They've managed to take out uh, the leader in one go with some well-placed dynamite and some very expensive drinks, as well as taking out one of what was initially thought to be two lieutenants. But it turns out there are three. One of them has a twin. So with that, let's jump into some Furton City and see what these crazy animals are up to today.
Ooh. All right. Where did we leave off at? Refresh my
So
memory.
we left off with Jonas on the rooftop, watching as uh, the one lieutenant went into a building, which you gather was where the alley cats were meeting, and a cat that looks almost like him, but maybe not quite, comes out with the second lieutenant and turns and walks in one direction. And a few moments later, the the one that Jonas was watching turns and walks in the opposite direction and takes a well-placed shot, rolls a crit, spends a marker, and puts one bullet right through the back of the lieutenant's head. And that's where we ended.
Mm.
So Jonas is the only one who knows that, shot was successful, but it has not actually moved the needle in the direction you wanted it to.
So
So
I
Jonas,
guess
what are you doing?
I am going to who all is around at this moment? Like everybody is still in earshot and stuff, and I didn't have a suppressor for this.
So correct, you did not have a suppressor, but in I imagine that you waited for a time when cars were driving by to muffle the sound somewhat of the shot. You weren't waiting for uh, eerie silence to have the rifle go off.
No,
Um,
I mean like like if anything, okay, because I remember playing this list, like I was not present enough to like remember to wait for cover sound either. Like it was probably very loud for sure, but like I wasn't waiting for it to ring out specifically. No.
so you had kind of gone up to the rooftop alone
Yeah.
to to be, the sentinel in the sky, as they say, whereas everybody else went in other directions. So no one else is in earshot. No one else has the information that you have.
And we don't have a radio or anything.
Nope.
Okay. Who of my team was in earshot for this? It's been a week, I'm sorry.
No, sure. So no one is on the rooftop with you.
Okay, but who all do I know of that's close enough to hear?
You could go down from the building and go try and
I
locate
I
them, but you don't know.
think I think you went off on your own because you're the best suited.
So I could just go home. I could just
Yes.
sneak away and go. That's what I do then. I sneak
All right,
away
so
and go home.
All right, so go ahead and commit a caper for me, and see if anybody notices you walking around with a rifle in the chaos of the late afternoon.
All right, give me just a second to grab my dice because they are slightly buried underneath debris on the table. I got them. Okay, here we go. Bong. Ah, no, 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 no. One of them ended up under the table. Do you want me to re-roll it, or do you want me to go with what it landed on?
It's your call.
Okay. Wow, that was a horrific roll. That was terrible. Oh, I guess it's not too terrible. Okay, it's 11.
All right, 11 is a success. Are you adding all three together, or
No, I have a 9 and
Okay.
a 2.
it would be a 6 and a 2? There's no 9 on these dice.
Oh, right. We're using because they're okay. Right, that makes sense. That's why I was confused. Okay.
Okay.
No,
all right,
okay.
so
In
that means
that case, I have
an 8.
Oh, are you sure?
A 6 and a 2 is an 8. Yeah.
Plus.
Oh, okay. I had the die upside down. Wow. Why am I so stupid today? Okay.
You're not stupid.
It's
Little
fine.
scatterbrain. Okay.
The dice maker should have did the dot or a line or something.
Man, I'm having a dyslexia moment and I apologize.
Even though
It's okay.
the dice only goes up to 6. Do you have modifiers for Sly?
Okay. Yeah, I got the 1.
All right, so that would be a 9. That is a
Yes,
success.
that would be total 9, not 9 on the die. I'm sorry.
Not a problem in any way, shape, or form. So that's success with consequence. No doubles to worry about here.
No.
All right, so go ahead, and just roll one die and tell me whether it's odd or even.
Okay. We've got even.
All right. So somebody does wind up spotting you. And if you had rolled odd, it was going to be a police officer and, possibly cause you some trouble. But you didn't. You rolled an even. Do you want to pick who saw you, or do you want me to pick?
I think it would be more fun if you did. You know the NPCs better than I do.
All right. So somebody has observed you walking around or sneaking out of this building with your trusted rifle. Go ahead and put your peepers to work and see if you notice who it was. What do you got?
Oh, I was me. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I am currently looking at a side of a die that looks like I'm looking at the letter B.
Yeah,
that's,
so that's a boss.
that's a 6.
So that's a
Okay.
6. It counts as a boss.
Okay, that'll be 8 again.
All right. So you do recognize this person, and by random happenstance, it is the well-dressed rabbit that was at the card game, and she is waiting on the side of the road, clearly, looking at at her pocket watch as she waits for a vehicle to come and pick her up. And there's just a moment as the door of the building opens. You hear the creak of this particular door, and as it swings open, she turns around and She locks eyes with you for just a moment. It's clear she has seen you, has seen the rifle, but she doesn't say a word. She doesn't do a thing. So this is Dolly Hopper.
I tip my hat to her very openly, as if I have done nothing wrong, and continue on my way.
Okay. So you make it across town back to either your apartment or to Arthur's. Where do you go?
Arthur's. I'm not going right back to my apartment when I know somebody just saw me cap someone. Actually, no, I'm not even going to Arthur's right now. I'm first going to a diner and I'm going to borrow their phone to call Arthur and let him know that, like, bring the team.
Okay. Just for fun, you're going to Benny's. Yeah, that happens to be the closest little diner in Scarborough.
So does Tumbleweed live alone?
Yes. Yeah, he lives alone. But he lives in the same building as Jonas and his husband. So, Tumbleweed will answer the phone and be like, "Hello?" And then he covers...
Sorry, I muted myself again. Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
I got news.
All right.
Our Hydra's down to one head. Meet me at the diner. And I give the name of the Benny's.
Benny's.
Sure.
Benny's.
Any particular reason you need a pickup and aren't just going on your own?
Sort of locked eyes with a civilian on my way out.
Gotcha. All right. We'll be there shortly. And, he hangs up the phone, looks at Sugar. What have you got in the way of disguises? And then he debriefs everybody on the situation.
I'm still dressed as a female flamingo.
That is entirely true. I forgot about that.
So does that mean that you are less flamboyant now?
I don't think he's less flamboyant, but I think he sticks out less.
Maybe. We'll see.
Not really sure how that works, but yeah.
Well, he's not dressed as a bandito, being the only one in a poncho.
Right. Go-go dancer. Okay, cool.
Whatever it takes.
Am I muted?
Maybe we're
No.
maybe we're just in
Okay.
like the animal version of LA, and this is normal to see a go-go dancer walking down the road
Okay. Fair.
during Prohibition era.
So we gotta find a good one for a koala, because I'm gonna guess there's not a lot of koalas here. Or armadillos.
Yeah, probably that, and you'll need one for Jonas too. He's a fox. Fennec
Yeah,
fox, but-
that one's pretty easy. Yeah. Can I raid your closet?
Yeah, go for it. And you will see that he has, like, literally the same outfit in, like, 12 pairs and one nice suit.
Well, do we have any extra curtains?
I got some old bed sheets.
All right, so while you guys are figuring out curtains, Jonas, are you a regular in any way, shape, or form at Benny's?
I mean, probably. Like, this isn't far from my apartment complex if it was on the way between there and here, right?
So, when you come here, do you come here more with your spouse, with Arthur, a combination of the two?
I would say a combination of the two. Like, they know me.
So Maud is like the head waitress. She's little sarcastic. Is clearly older. Looks like she's been a lifetime waitress. And as you come in, you can see, as she always does, is like preparing whatever your regular drink would be. And you know that she has seen quite a lot in her time, here within the city. All right, so you guys all head out to Benny's. What do you guys do?
Yeah, we're gonna go get some coffee and extract Jonas from the situation.
And hopefully not attract too much attention in the process.
Especially that one.
Now, Ted, refresh my memory. The second lieutenant, and the kind of the third we didn't know about. Was that an aside thing, or did we see that happen?
That is what Jonas witnessed.
Okay.
Jonas saw the claw and one of these cats come out and go to the side, and Jinx kind of went in the other direction, 30 to 60 seconds later, and that's when Jonas put a bullet through his head.
Perfect.
So Jonas is the only one who knows that the lieutenants were actually 3, and they tried to operate as only being 2.
And for fairness, I don't think that Arthur would have picked up that was what Jonas meant. Like, because in his mind, like, you could just have 2 people and that's it, right? Like 2 heads on a Hydra. So he probably wasn't thinking that way.
Sure. So Maud is a red fox. She's the head waitress here. I know Benny is a capybara, and he's the owner and head cook. When he comes out and talks, he's really low key and just kind of loves being involved with food and making his customers happy. It's pretty much home cooking kind of style stuff. Large portions for decent price, but you're not getting anything fancy. You're not getting anything over the top. But every so often he'll kind of talk about the older days, and he never goes into detail, but he got out of the business after the gravy boat incident.
Ooh, is this a noodle incident? I like that.
He never like whenever anybody pushes, he's like, oh no, I can't get into that, it's too painful.
Okay.
So it's either made up or it's actually painful.
I've got a new goal for this campaign. We get that guy drunk and find out what happened.
Man, I'm actually 100% on board with this thing you want to do. For once, we're on board with the same plan.
I don't even think I need dynamite. Tequila? Yes. Dynamite? Well, maybe.
No, we can get tequila. We can get so much rum, it'll be fine. Now, we got this. I am so on board. I am, so invested. Team building exercise. Let's go.
So I think Tumbleweed will walk to the diner since it's probably close, so he's not attracting attention. Because I imagine I've probably been to this place as often as Jonas has. Probably with Jonas sometimes even. So it would be a little sussy for me to drive up in a car driven by a koala.
I will
So-
walk as well, unless Boomer is driving and offering a ride, because I always take a ride when Boomer offers.
Well,
Always.
it's only about 3 blocks away from the the apartment, but it is entirely up to you.
You don't know when you
but
need a getaway vehicle. You don't know when you might need to go farther than 3 blocks, alright, baby? It's like, look, man.
Never know.
Worst case scenario, I lost a parking spot back at the apartment.
I'm gonna stay with Tumbleweed and kind of, I guess, sit on his shoulder and look backwards.
Sure,
Keep
sure.
an eye out.
So as we approach the diner, I want to kind of like keep my eyes open to see if there are if anyone seems to be kind of like staking it out or anything, because of apparently I believe the message conveyed that mission accomplished, but maybe some problems.
All right, so go ahead and put your peepers to work.
All right. That's an 8.
As a
Make it a 7 because I have a -1 forward apparently.
okay, well that all roll against all points to the same answer. You do see a vehicle that has somebody in it, and at the moment, they appear to be looking at the apartment building, maybe even the window that could be Arthur's apartment, but you aren't dead fast sure. Maybe if you return here later and if they're still there, that settles it. But I'll use your success with consequences to point to a little insurity.
Okay.
Unsurety. I can't speak.
All right. I will point that out to everyone else once we arrive at the diner.
So, anybody not been to Benny's before?
I don't believe Boomer ever has.
I haven't either.
I am
So-
imagining this
I
to
don't
be
know.
like being a Hickey's version where they come out and sing when you've never been there before.
So there are a couple regulars or permanent, what seems to be permanent guests here. In one corner, there's a very swanky dressed frog. He always seems to have a folded up newspaper, and if you spend time here, you definitely see people come and go, and some peanuts change hands, as Drip is very much known as a bookie, and he will bet on anything. The other side of Benny's is a very old tortoise. He almost seems to be here first thing in the morning and stays till the end of the day. But he always has a game board set out in front of him, and he's always up for a game of chess. But he is incredibly slow to make a move.
Always thinking of options open.
Basically. But so those of you who are regulars here, Maud does the same thing as she did to Jonas. As you kind of walk through the door, she hears the little bell jingle jingle. She looks and immediately begins making whatever your go-to drink is.
Even the first timers.
Well, no, if you've been here before.
Okay.
She's got it, yeah. So for the first timers, no, she doesn't have some mystical power who just knows what you drink.
All right,
But
like
if
I
you-
was going to be fascinated, and I would have been completely fine with this and locked in, but I'm fine with it not being that too.
But she greets everyone with a smile, and again, those who have been here before, even if it's only been once, she's got the drinks, in process. ready as soon as you get to a table.
So Arthur will slide into whatever booth or bar that Jonas is currently sitting at and say, all right, we got sugar and she's got a change of clothes for you if you need it.
And I probably will. I'm also probably going to have to get a new hammer because I had to ditch mine on the way back from the construction site. It had termites in the handle. However, I did have to use it, and the nail did get driven in pretty conveniently.
Well, that's good. So, in theory, our little construction project is finished then.
No, there's one more nail.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if using your analogies, I
two
would
more
say,
nails.
there. You thought that there would have been one more, but it appears that there are still 2 more nails.
Okay, well,
I guess-
that is what I'll say in that case.
Yeah. Sorry to overwrite. I wanted to make sure you're.
Oh no,
delivering
we want to get the correct information. I appreciate it.
Not at all.
So, I guess the first step is to get you out of here then. Because, I don't know, he'll look to everybody else that's at the table. Any sort of tail that anybody noticed?
Oh, when we got there, I would have said your place was being someone was staking your place out.
Okay. So I will share that with Jonas then.
All right, so I guess I got my next assignment.
So I'm not sure if we want to go home necessarily. But I'm also not sure if we got anywhere else we could go.
I mean, we could go to my place, I guess.
I mean, if you don't mind me crashing your my husband is at home.
Yeah.
He's probably
Well,
safe.
well-
He's well known. He's in the public eye. If they start messing with him, people will know.
Now, I'll have to ask this question. Does Sugar live in a smaller domicile, being a sugar glider? Or do you have a spacious place that would be able to fit your larger sized friends?
Jonas would probably be okay.
That's right. I am actually kind of
Uh,
smaller.
I'm not sure about Tumbleweed. Smallers, you can get nicer for cheaper.
Right. Well, armadillos aren't terribly big. I think the tortoise is probably bigger than the armadillo, and the flamingo probably doesn't weigh as much as the tortoise, but is taller.
So the height would be your issue. So do you want to, be all bent over and crunched?
Well, I'm envisioning like Sugar's like, we go to my place and we don't figure any of this out until we get there.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably fair. Like right now,
I
we're
love
just
that.
really focused
We,
on
we get to
getting
the door
him
and then
out.
Sugar kind of looks at her door, then looks at us and looks at the door again.
So do you spend any, elongated time at the diner, or is this merely, a transition point?
I think we have to spend enough time there to make it look good, right? Hopefully this is a good diner and they serve breakfast all day.
All day breakfast.
All day breakfast. I want that Southwestern omelet. And then I guess we should kind of scope things out before we leave to make sure no one has been following or taking note of Jonas's presence.
All right. So, yes, this is, as you can kind of gather with the name Benny's, I kind of mirrored that off of, a similar sounding, place. So, yes, you can get breakfast all day here. If they've got the ingredients, Benny is more than willing to make whatever it is you want.
Oh, does that mean we're going to be throwing down in the parking lot at 3 a.m.?
We might be.
Is that what happens
Yeah.
where you come from?
It is
It's a
Denny's.
meme.
It is a Benny's after all. And sometimes you don't wait until you get to the parking lot either.
I'm ready. Let's go.
So who's our best lookout to see if we notice anything? I got an awareness of 2.
I think that's Boomer, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I also have
Do we-
awareness at 2.
Want the costumes?
Oh yeah, we're definitely doing the costumes too, but still. All right, well, I guess me and Boomer will see if we see anything. Do we
right.
need to roll?
Yeah, go ahead and give me put your peepers to work.
Woo, almost triples, but we got doubles. I have a 12 with doubles.
That brings my 9, yeah.
All right, so 9 is success with consequence. Well, and I'm not going to really, add much here. Dave's success with doubles. That's going to be success, and you get a +1 forward on your next roll.
Woohoo!
There is a vehicle that does appear to be sitting out front waiting. You can hear the slight idle of the engine to know that it's been out there probably for a little while. It's definitely a fancier vehicle, not completely out of the realm for being in Scarborough, but definitely nice for this part of the neighborhood.
And Jonas, did you tell us about the fancy rabbit?
Oh, yeah.
And she was the one.
I would make sure that no one was in earshot when I said that part. But I would let you know that, like, when she saw me, I nodded to her like I had nothing to hide. Also, I feel like Jonas is smart enough to wear gloves. I know I didn't specifically say that, but, like, I'm smart enough to file crosses into the heads of my bullets, like, and I
Sure.
definitely ditched the gun on the way here, so.
Okay. I assume when you said I need a new hammer that was part of that.
Yes.
And if we did inspiration in this game, that whole bit would have absolutely been inspiration.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me
That
know.
was, of course, that was absolutely fabulous. So what do you do as you notice this fancy vehicle there?
Well, I want to take note of the driver. Or what do we got behind the wheel?
Yeah.
It's tinted glass.
Dang it. It's a fancy car, you say. I feel like I will be able to determine make, model, being the driver.
I don't know enough. I would just say, for the time, it is very nice, and like I said, very very much on the borderline of what would be out of place, just lower than out of place here in Scarborough.
Is that a Duesenberg Model J?
It's not that.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it's definitely that's definitely something. I feel like, what is the equivalent to an insight roll here?
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to take a wild stab based on looking at the car. Who's more than likely, not necessarily who, but like what type of person would be behind the wheel of that, almost like, I see a white van, it's definitely a creep in there.
That would probably be awareness. Put your peepers to work. Trying to figure something out, investigate perceive or detect danger.
Sure.
I think that probably fits the closest to.
Yeah, sounds fair to me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with double 4s.
So 8 with doubles.
Yeah.
All right, so that's success with consequence. You get a -1 forward, and you can give a +1 forward.
Rosa, you got it.
So your consequences, I'm going to give you more options than what a success would be.
Sure.
So first and foremost, your paranoia, jumps to the height of the list of, okay, well, there's some kind of beef with Al Capone. So this could very much be either herself or more likely like one of her agents, here looking to bring you down. You guys have been kind of seated here for a little while. You drove here. For all you know, this vehicle followed you. You were, paying more attention to the apartment being staked out than were you being followed. It could be, one of the other mafioso agents kind of see what is going on over here. Because if Al Capone is doing some kind of observation on you, what's to say that that hasn't drawn the attention of Hambino or Otto to do the same thing? For good or for ill, are you being hunted by all of them? Are you being headhunted by all of them? It starts to spiral your thoughts into a number of directions, and then of course probably lowest on that bar. Jonas had mentioned that there was this rabbit from the card game that saw him coming out of the building where he took the shot from. So could be that too, or not too, but that could be an option.
Could be an option, yeah. Okay, yeah, because I just wanted to try to rule out as many things as possible, but it looks like that. I literally just trauma dump all my worries onto Rosa.
So I'm gonna be like, I want to check this out, folks. I'll catch up with you back at Tumbleweeds later, and I want to sneak up on the car.
Okay.
Undetected.
Okay. Are you gonna go out of the?
I'm gonna try and go out like the back door of the diner or something like that. Make it like I'm going to use the restroom and then ditch out.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and commit a caper. Let's see how sneaky you can be to, go unnoticed. Yes, all of this is being done by a cross-dressed go-go dancer flamingo.
Well, that's doubles.
Doubles for good or doubles for bad?
Well, that's a 5. That's a 7.
7 total?
7 total.
All right. So
considering it was double ones, that's not so bad.
All right, so 7. Doubles with success with consequences is a -1 forward, and you can give a +1 forward.
All right.
I gave you a +1 forward earlier. You want to help me out, buddy?
Yeah,
Get rid of my -1.
Yeah. That's what I was going to do anyway.
All right. So you managed to sneak through the diner portion of the building unnoticed, but as you step into the back, it's full on open kitchen. Sure, there's a lot going on, but you would literally have to bypass Benny and his very, very large capybara stomach. So you step into the back room, the doors swing a little bit, and he looks at you like, can I help you, young miss?
Oh my God, Benny, right? You gotta help me. My boyfriend, he's kind of the rough type, and he's been roughing me up, and I don't want him to see me. And I was just gonna sneak out the back, and I started like shaking and kind of cowering a little bit.
So he steps up and puts his big meaty paws on your shoulders. It's okay. All right, you need to get out of here. Go ahead. And he kind of like wraps his arm around you and kind of escorts you to the back door.
Okay. And then once I get out, I'm going to continue trying to sneak to the car.
Okay. Do you want to use your success with consequences here, or do you want to have another go at this to not be noticed?
I'll have another go to try sneaking. I rolled almost as bad as I could possibly roll. Famous last words. All right. What's that? Okay. That would be a success with consequences.
All right. So I was hoping to have you roll a little bit better so you can get exactly what you want.
Me too. But
So-
I think what I'm going to do is I don't have that many sessions left. I'll spend a marker.
Oh, okay. All right. So we'll wash the dice. How do you wish to approach the vehicle? What are you looking to?
So
do?
I'm looking to approach the rear of the vehicle,
Okay.
and I want to pop the trunk
Okay.
and get inside.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and commit a caper again. We'll
All right.
open a lock. That's what this is.
Okay. So. All right, dice. You're not doing amazing by me. That is going to be an 8. Which I'm going to use a move. There is no door.
Okay.
So it opens with a complication.
Okay. So the complication is the you manage to you use your power so that you're not observed, and you got a choice to make. There is too much stuff in the trunk. So there is like a full-on like crate. There's like a Foot Locker, and there is a satchel full of peanuts. So you're gonna have to either if you want to fit in the trunk, you're gonna have to ditch one of these things on the sidewalk.
I think the satchel of peanuts is the easiest thing for me to slide out quietly.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to roll into the trunk, and I'm not going to pull it shut all the way because I don't want it to latch on me.
Okay.
But I'm going to pull it too, and I'm going to hang out in the trunk.
Okay. So it's pointed out in our group chat here that Rosa is reverse kidnapping himself. How amazing is this?
As you do.
So inside the diner, you guys are going about your business when just a few minutes after Rosa slips away, Maud comes out of the kitchen with some refills of drinks, and she comes up to you, Jonas, and says, "Are these all your friends here?"
They are.
Well, I got a reported problem with one of your compatriots.
Which one? What's the problem?
She
And
she looks
sorry.
down at Boomer, and word is this one is not nice to those that he hangs around.
I mean, he's been perfect. Sorry, go on.
Her normal expression of jovialness is like gone, and you've never seen her look stern like this before. It's a little unsettling. If you ever see when grandma gets mad, it's kind of what you're seeing here.
I'm gonna glance around and see who else is in earshot first.
So at the moment, the only one, kind of like lurking around is young Connie. She's a teenage rabbit, and she's the one who is basically the busser. She's cleaning, the couple of tables, that are right near where you guys are.
All right, and Jonas is like sitting back a little bit in his seat and he is projecting like, this is my crew and I will curate it at this moment. So he's like trying to give her the confidence to keep talking.
So Benny says that she kind of gives the full direction to Boomer. Benny says that you were laying hands on your little friend in there.
I then transfer my stare so that you're also getting it from Jonas.
The only thing I would have been laying hands on is my vehicle.
That's not what she's saying.
Which Z?
Flamingo that came in with you?
Ah, shit. I say that silently underneath my breath.
She told Benny you roughed her up good.
A flamingo, I say, as I turn towards the table. Well, look. I don't have a lot to say, but I am knowing when I'm not wanted, so I'll be taking my leave.
Well, there's the door.
Yeah, so I go towards said door in my disguise and just wait inside my car.
Do I need to roll to see if I can keep the confusion off my face? I feel like I probably should in this instance because Jonas is like, the fuck?
Sure. If you want to go ahead and roll magnetism.
Guys, I can't go to Benny's anymore.
6. He looks completely stunned and confused.
So, I mean, you're aware that Rosa, is cross-dressing at the moment to hide his identity, being the only bandito flamingo around Scarborough, and apparently to kind of gain cover, he threw some kind of ruse out there of Boomer beating him up.
He threw a ruse and me under a bus.
Okay, so, yeah, I feel like Jonas's response to that, at least internally, as soon as he pieces it together, he's not gonna snort out loud. He's not gonna do anything that anybody observing could, see. He'll watch Boomer go, but then he's gonna, sip whatever beverage it is that he's got. He's gonna glance over at him, and he's gonna be like, you've known me for a while, right?
Yeah.
Not you.
Oh.
Who are you saying this
You
to?
left. I'm saying this to the NPCs that are still here.
Okay, so to Maud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've been a regular for quite some time.
All right. I'm not going to call him back in here right now. I'm going to give you some time to think about this, and you can let me know one way or the other later. But as far as I can vouch for that guy, if he's roughing up a lady, she can take him.
All right, well, your little flamingo friend, if she wants to come in and recant, then that'll be something to deal with. But
All
we
right.
we don't
No,
tolerate
that's-
nonsense here.
I appreciate that, actually. That's good of you. That is good on you. And I know that it's not what it looked like, but I also know that there's no proof of that. I'll have her come in and talk to you.
You know, and she leans down. She's like, times have been tough. Times been tough
Mhm.
for a long time for a lot of folk.
Sure have.
I've seen more crime bosses in this city than than anything else. There's been a lot to deal with, so I try to keep it out of here. I try to keep things above board, and sure, there's not a lot that can be done to keep it all out of earshot, but
But
come through that door, that's the way it's got to be.
it has to be. Of course it does. That makes this place safe, and I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate equally that you're willing to hear me out about this, because I understand it is an extremely an extremely sensitive situation. And I feel
Well,
that way about it too. Protect our
if
people,
you're,
protect our citizens.
if your friend came in here and started, trying to play, woe is me, it's not true. Well, I mean, I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt, but we've
No,
had our
you should.
conversation.
You should.
And,
You absolutely should. But when you hear it from her, it'll hit different.
But you and I, we have a little bit of a history here, and therefore there's a little bit more room for trust. So if you say that there's a little bit of hogwash going on, then clearly there's more to this story, and it all needs to be sussed out.
No, I'm not saying that it's hogwash. I'm not saying that it's not true. I am saying that it is definitely not a situation where he was picking on someone with less weight to throw behind them than he had.
Sure.
He wasn't punching down.
Okay. Well, I'm willing to hear it out. If you want to bring them both back in and get this all figured out, then he'll be welcome
Of
back.
course. There's no rush, but for the time being, thank you for being on top of this. Not everybody is. And the city needs that more than it needs somebody who will turn a blind eye.
Here. And she slides the refill of your drink that she was bringing over, across the table.
So I'm gonna salute her with it. I'm gonna chug the whole thing, and then I'm gonna go after him. And you can
Okay.
swap to the rest of the party as I'm en route.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what are the rest of you doing? Sugar, Arthur.
I am patiently waiting with my bag of disguises.
So since it seems that Plan A has just gone out the window, I'll cover everybody's tab, and then I'll whisper to Sugar, it could be he was using that as code for something else because he wanted us out of there.
Maybe.
So,
Or maybe he wanted to check something out by himself.
maybe. I mean, that's fair, but you haven't heard anything blow up yet, have you?
Oh.
Which tells me that either something is wrong or something is very wrong.
Maybe he went out the back.
Maybe he did go out the back. Tell you what, let's go out the front, and if we don't see him immediately, we'll skirt our way around the back and look for some evidence.
No, that sounds fair. We probably need to get Jonas in disguise.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
He just headed up out of
ASAP.
here.
Yeah.
All right, so Jonas, where did you go?
After Boomer.
Yeah, I went after Boomer. Sorry, I said that, but I had once again muted myself because I'm coughing a lot still, and I forgot.
How dare you allow real world ails affect the game? All right, so we'll get to that in a moment.
All right.
So you brought disguises for the majority of folks. So I imagine that Jonas went into the bathroom and put on a disguise, and everybody else kind of got their disguises on beforehand.
I mean, yeah, as long as he was given one for sure.
So go ahead and give me a start spin. Let's make a magnetism roll and see what this disguise looks like on you, Jonas. And meanwhile,
4.
Arthur. Awesome. Arthur, are you wearing a disguise?
In the most technical sense, yes. He is wearing a disguise. However, I am going to choose to fail any disguise rolls because his idea of a disguise is putting on a proper tie and changing his belt buckle. And otherwise wearing the exact same clothes he always wears.
Can for comedic reasons, can I offer one more thing?
Sure.
You've got a fake mustache.
Over his real mustache, yes.
I love it so much.
I just love the idea of the fake mustache, especially over a real one. So Jonas, as you step out of the building, number one, you roll a 4, so go ahead and take an XP. The door of this fancy vehicle, the back door opens up, and Dolly steps out. It's been some time, probably a couple hours since.
Oh, is that the rabbit?
That's the rabbit, yes.
Okay.
It's been a couple hours since you guys locked eyes for that moment, and she has completely changed her entire outfit. So she again locks eyes with you, and as she does so, she circles. She points her finger up, makes a circle, and then beckons. Doesn't say a word. You who've been kind of around the block a little bit, know that she's saying, "All right, gather your people and come with me."
All right. Okay, hold on. So before I gather my people, I am going to hold up a calm palm to say, like, wait a second, and then I'm going to approach. Does she leave, or does she allow me a dialogue?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, like, all right, Jonas, he's got a reputation. He is definitely a friend of Dorothy, okay? Like, there is absolutely no way that this is anything but what it is, just gathering information. Like, I just want to make it clear that there is no mistaking this. So he's gonna walk over there, and he's like, where are we meeting? And at what time?
Well, I was going to just have a little bit of conversation, right here while we drive, and then we can take you wherever you need to go. But
do you have enough room for 5 people?
I think it'll be a little bit of a tight fit, but we can make it work.
Okay, hang here for a second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go gather the party.
Okay. So you don't know where Rosa went, but Sugar, Arthur, and Boomer are all easy enough to find.
Cool. I'm gonna go get them, and then I am gonna go try to find Rosa. I'm gonna be like, you guys, talk to this woman, keep her busy while I go find our friend.
Okay. We had not yet done this, but Sugar and I were about to go look out back and see if there was any clues as to what had happened. Ted, is this the same car that Rose is hiding in right now?
Yeah.
So where are the peanuts?
On the ground
Out
behind it, or just under it.
So they're just like right there. Like, do any of us notice this bag of peanuts just chilling on the ground?
At the moment, no.
Okay.
All of this conversation is happening to the side of the vehicle, and it's it's been a few minutes, so depending upon how the story unfolds, the peanuts might not be there.
Valid.
I mean, it's not often that a sack of money is just placed on the ground next to the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I'm in my car, waiting around and stuff. Like, I didn't see any of this happen. Well, no, it will be after the fact. It will be after the fact.
So the bag of peanuts is just underneath of the back of the car, right? Because I would have just throw it in the open. And I don't want people to come snooping around. So,
okay.
With the lack of hiding space, I just kind of pushed it under the car.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's not, my interpretation was like you were more concerned about getting in the vehicle than you were about hiding what's there. So that's fine. We can retcon that a little bit to, push it like next to, the wheel or what have you, in case you wanted to slip it back in. So it's not super obvious. So where are Arthur and Sugar? Were you guys going and looking for Rosa, or were you still sitting down when Jonas comes looking for you guys?
I kind of thought we were on our way out.
Front. Yeah, we were going to go out the front and then go around back to look for him.
All right. So as you are, heading out the door, this is when Jonas is kind of coming back, and you can see, Dolly standing next to the vehicle with the open car door.
Oh. All right. Well, I guess we're going to have a little chat then. Do we notice that the trunk is ajar?
He's holding it just to. It would take a lot, so I would say no.
Okay, that's fair. I was probably going to cause trouble anyway and just shut it for her.
P.S. I feel like Jonas would be smart enough to know to mention that this was the person that saw him before bringing these people out of the restaurant. Assuming that tracks and I'm not being completely ridiculous.
Yeah, you're telling the group that this is the person who saw you leave the building.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like right before going after Boomer. Like it would be like fetch his friends, fills them in, goes get Boomer. Like
Yeah. I guess a question I have is like, would it be? I guess when I'm eventually talking to Jonas, I'll say like, I feel some type of way about leaving my car behind. Any chance I can just follow them?
Well,
oh, have I found you?
The idea was there was going to be a conversation inside the vehicle.
Oh, I thought we were going somewhere outside of the area. Okay. In that case, I'm all for it.
Okay.
So the four of you, get into the vehicle, and I thought you said that there were 5. Where is your feathered friend?
I don't know, but as soon as I see Rosa, I'm gonna choke the life out of him. I didn't finish my coffee or nothing.
Isn't that what got you in
So,
trouble in the first place, allegedly?
I hope you're hearing all this from the back, man.
All right. Well, if that's all, and she, nods to the driver, and you guys begin to pull out of in front of the diner, and she's like, "Well, this is the best way to make sure that any conversation is not overheard or eavesdrop upon. You guys have managed to do some interesting things in the last few weeks, and there are only so many movers and shakers in Scarborough. Now, you've won card games. You wrestled against a number of interesting things, and I even heard tale that riled up some unruly coppers. So what is your end goal here?
We're fighting for the little guy.
Noble. Not very profitable, but noble.
Who said we cared about profitable?
No. Most who get in this line of work are not doing it to save the day. There's more work where that line of thought leads. And I don't think it's going to go away.
And I'm telling you, most of the work that we're going to be willing to take is the kind that goes along that line. Tumbleweed, do you want to tell her?
So, we were thinking, given current circumstances, the fact is, what you do is not that different from what a lot of businesses do, frankly.
Go on.
I come from the banking world, and frankly speaking, I know bankers even more corrupt, more vilely creative, and so much more ruthless than most of the mobsters we've met.
And they'll do it with a smile on their face.
They'll do it with a smile on their face. And what's more, they'll get you to sign on the dotted line in the process.
It's true.
And we think that it's about time somebody started upsetting those status quos a little bit.
And if you'll allow me to add.
Yeah, and he'll kind of let Jonas take over from there.
I mean, just for a moment, though. We don't have to be the fastest runners out there. We just gotta be better than the legit guys.
Well, that is it's a fresh perspective, to be sure. So, is it true that you are looking to impress the newcomer?
Yeah. The fact is, out of all of the different bosses we've seen, you're probably one of the best. At least as far as aligning with our goals.
Oh, well, I'm not any kind of boss. This isn't Bunny Malone. This is this is Doc.
This is the one you were flirting with when
gotcha.
you were gambling.
Yeah. So
It's kind of messed up, man.
So we just we want to make a difference in the world. The fact is, what's going on right now, that ain't right. You got so many little guys getting tromped on all along the way, and really when it comes to chess games, the pawns are usually the losers.
Pawns are always the losers, unless you manage to make the right move and become a queen.
Right. Or
Interesting that you would become specifically the queen piece instead of an additional king. I like that.
Well, I was merely, using the aspect of the game in an element of, the conversation. A pawn
Yeah, but I
does
like
have
it anyway.
And the fact that, one can be connected in such a way, it's a nice connection. Now, you all seem to be an interesting sort, and I'd hate to be at odds. So I'm just trying to see how the pieces are moving here, because Scarborough is not properly claimed as of yet, and there are some plans, and I just wanted to see if any of those plans might incorporate the lot of you. But apparently decisions have been made.
Well, here's the thing. You gotta find something worth something to you. And you gotta stick with it. Because when you lose sight of what's important to you, you don't really have a focus.
We're here.
I understand that more than you think.
We're here working for Scarborough. And if you are too, then there's room to work together.
Exactly. Just because we're currently playing chess doesn't mean we can't change the rules or make our own rules or, hell, remove all the pawns and flip the board.
Maybe there shouldn't be pawns at all.
Maybe we should be playing checkers instead.
Now, checkers is a far more straightforward game.
How about backgammon?
Well, that certainly has a little bit more options. See, checkers is, if you know how to play, it's just waiting for your opponent to make the right mistake, and then you win.
Also like
Chess.
tic-tac-toe for that matter.
I don't
Sorry.
like. No, it's okay. I don't like the simple and straightforward. It needs to have the dance. It needs to have the nuance.
What about ogres and oubliettes?
Well,
What about a game
as-
where we're all working together for the best ending?
Well, I can pass that concept up the chain and see if that's something that could be considered. Well,
Do that. You talk to your
Maybe
boss, and we'll talk to ours.
Perhaps we'll have another meeting soon and
Like that.
see exactly what, if anything, transpires.
All
If
right.
If things are not, shall we say, agreeable, I will at least have the courtesy to let you know that negotiations have failed, and we can take things from there.
I appreciate that. Let me offer a counter proposal.
Of course.
Before you find out, and I'm gonna give a date and a time and a place.
Okay.
Meet us here. And, I think we should find out how will we get on as people. I think we should just hang out at least once without worrying about the oversight. And if that doesn't work out, that's fine. You know, I'm not trying to get anything out of you. I just want to get to know you a little better, to get to know who I'm working with, to get to know who the voice of this person that's approaching us right now is.
Sure.
And I think that
I would be more than happy to get to know you better, as long as it is myself that you are trying to glean information from, and not anything else.
Yeah. Your boss is your boss. Your boss will show up when they want to show up. You're you.
And in case
I'm curious about you.
And in case you missed it, we don't believe in pawns and bosses as much. So we
Pretty
kind
much.
of see you as just as valuable. Sugar, what you got to add?
I'm gonna be quiet because I'm pretending to be grouchy about the costumes. But while all this is going on, I have the ability to read people like a book.
Sure.
I would like to try to figure out quietly who she's working for, just by mannerisms, symbols, and that kind of thing.
Sure. Is that a roll?
Yes. Yes. Plus magnetism.
All right.
No.
So she continues the conversation. You know, I consider myself the knight. I move the way that one might not expect, and find myself either slipping in to make a powerful move or slipping out of danger quite easily.
You know, there are some chess players who say the knight's the most valuable piece, actually.
Well, I will take that as a kindness. And she nods, her gold necklace, kind of glinting as she does so. The one, ear kind of dips down a little bit as
I consider
as she
myself a
does.
bishop.
I rolled a 9, and then plus magnetism makes it a 12, and no boss showing.
Okay, so is that gives you 3 questions you can ask? This is a 3 holds.
No, I can just read her. Oh yeah, 3 holds. Yeah, 3 questions.
All right, so you can ask 3 questions about her that I will answer truthfully.
Okay. Does she work for the owl?
She does not.
Okay. Is she romantically involved with a boss?
She is not.
Okay. And she's obviously not with Bunny Malone. So, is she working with Tom? Well, Tom's people.
Talking about King Tom?
Yeah.
No, I'll let you. It doesn't necessarily have to be yes or no questions. And that the way she's dressed, the way she's acting, like she is far above, the status of the alley cats.
Okay, so there's what? Al Capone, which is no.
Carlo Hambino and Machine Gun Otto.
I'm gonna go with. What about Hambino? Or Gambino.
You can gather, the business-like aspect of how she's communicated all of this. That would be the safe bet that she works for Hambino. So yes, she does.
Okay.
So why a bishop, Jonas? Bishops are so often considered the aggressive throwaway piece by those who have spent decent time with the game.
Man, call me out for not having spent decent time with the game without saying I haven't spent decent time with the game, Ted. Okay. Give me just a second. Because they move in a way that you wouldn't expect toward a target that you wouldn't necessarily expect. Most people think in terms of horizontal and vertical. There you go. That's my line.
Well, if that is that is makes it a little bit more interesting. You know, you're not as solid or direct as a rook, but I would think you would strive for better than the throwaway piece. But I don't get to make your choices for you.
I think that the mistake here is that you're calling the bishop a throwaway piece.
Well, there are those that enjoy using them, but yeah, that is just how some view it. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
Prove.
It is how some view it, and that's all right for them. If they don't know what they have in front of them, then you know they can figure out what they're doing. They can take that information and come up with strategies, omitting the piece that they find useless. But if you know how to use a bishop.
Oh, it's powerful, sure. As I said. So
It takes knowledge.
I
That's all.
have your agreed upon meeting time that I will join you at. I will deliver deliver your message to my boss. And hopefully that you will then pass your message up the chain to the one that you wish to work for. And oh, look at that. And as she looks out the window, you're pulling back into the exact same spot where was in the exact same spot in front of the diner that you had left just a short bit ago. It appears that I have returned you back to where I picked you up. So until we have the pleasure of chatting again, and she nods at each of you, Boomer, Sugar, Jonas, Arthur. She at this point, like, she gestures towards the door.
Jonas wouldn't even hesitate to leave. Like, Jonas does not even pause to give this woman his back.
But as you go to reach for the door, apparently the driver stopped the car, and in that brief moment of conversation, got around to the car and opened up the door for you.
You're fast. Good job. I clap a little bit, and then I continue moving. Which I say because that is what I have to do for my 3-year-old whenever he does something positive.
So the four of you, are able to exit the vehicle, and Dolly is, just smiling as you all exit. What does Rosa do, in the trunk as you've been jostled around for this whole ride?
So I guess first and foremost, I want to know if I'm able to catch any snippets of what's being said or what's going on. I imagine it's a trunk, it's loud, the car. So not necessarily that I would be able to hear, but that I might recognize the voices.
All right, so go ahead and put your peepers to work, and rather than a success, failure, or success with consequence, I'm basically gonna go on a 1 to 10 scale. Whatever you've got is that much percent of it, 10, 20,
right.
30, 40.
Well, I got a 13.
All right, so you heard it all,
with
minor moments.
Doubles. Ally balls.
All right. Well, we're like I said, we're just rolling
Okay.
based off of percent. So, if you had gotten trips to get a marker back, I'd give you that. But we're looking at it for just the percent rolls.
One number off from that.
Sorry. So you heard the gist of it. You have an idea of exactly who that person in the car was, and I'll to reward your critical, I will give you the moment of since you're literally in the same spot it was. I will give you the ability to figure out the scene. Is the money bag still there? And if so, what do you do with it when you get out?
So I'm going to, once I hear the driver get back in, I'm gonna get out of the trunk, like kind of roll out and shut it quietly, so just enough so it latches. I'm going to grab the sack of peanuts and head for Boomer's car.
Okay, give me a commit a caper.
All right, I'm gonna spend the marker.
Okay.
I don't need no stinking markers.
So you can go ahead and increase your peanut score by 1.
Woo.
So, Rosa, you would notice I lock my doors because I'm very security cautious.
Not for me, you don't. That's a 13 with doubles, good and bad boss. I mean, neutral and bad boss.
Oh, the neutral and the bad boss. All right, so everybody gets a +1 forward, and you don't because you get a -1 forward.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm kind of like I'm in Boomer's car when he gets there.
With a sack of peanuts stolen from Carlo Hambino.
Literally, I'm gonna stare at him and be like, "Oh, you rotten son!" I roll up my sleeves, open that door, yank you by your lanky flamingo thing. Like, give me one good reason why I shouldn't string you out right now.
I'm buying the tequila, friend, amigo.
You know what? That works. I imagine as I imagine as this is happening, what was the guy's name? Benny? Benny comes by and sees out the window. What the hell? Sees me.
So what is it that you're doing to this flamingo?
I think he snatched me up by my neck.
So, are you asking for this scene to unfold?
It'd be funny. We're about to drive away anyway.
All right. So, as you lift Rosa up by his neck, indeed, Maud is looking
I'll be right back. I
through
gotta go to the bathroom.
through the window, and quickly Betty comes waddling out with a wooden baseball bat. What the hell do you think you're doing to her?
Oh, hell no. I throw you in with your penis and I start that car. Who's coming? It better be coming. And if anyone wants to be in my car as I drive, that's cool. If not, whatever.
So, Arthur Sugar, what do you do?
Arthur just...
I'm just looking on with my mouth open.
Yeah, same. Like, Arthur's just staring like, we're going to have to tell Jonas. Jonas is going to be absolutely livid.
Well, Jonas is
We're
right
gonna
there.
get arrested.
Oh.
Somebody's getting arrested.
All right, so Boomer and Rosa drive away after Rosa was apparently, picked up by his neck and then thrown into the vehicle. Arthur, Sugar, what?
Can't help it.
what
I have
did you-
codependency issues.
I just look over to a Rose of them all, like top shelf tequila. It's like, you're right.
So, what do you guys do as Boomer drives away?
You know what? F it. We have to save face for all of this because this is what we would do if we didn't know what was going on. So, Arthur's gonna hail a taxi.
Well, you are only 3 blocks from your apartment, but were you looking to go
No, he's
to?
gonna chase Boomer.
Oh,
Follow that. Oh, you're gonna do
Yeah.
the follow that
Yup.
car.
Oh Lord.
all right. So, after
Yes.
Boomer, haphazardly throws Rosa into the car and drives away, the 3 of you get into a taxi and begin following Boomer. Boomer, as you're driving, where are you looking to go?
Dang it, that capybara, man. It's like, keep imagining it's probably the capybara chasing after me again. Yeah, you know what? Let's see if this taxi's better driving than me. I'm gonna start chasing it. I'm gonna do some fancy car maneuvers and see if I can get behind it.
All right. Get out of a jam. Let's roll Moxie.
Alrighty. Da-da-da. 5. What is this one? Sorry, I'm reading 5, 6, 7. That's a 2. 7, 8, 9. Why did I stop doing math in my brain?
Right.
What the heck?
So, success with consequence. Do you want to have a slight bump into the taxi that is following you, that you're now going to be following it, or another random vehicle?
You're gonna have to beat the taxi, man.
All right. So as you pull into a fancy maneuver, you wait for just the right moment that the other lane is free, and you floor it as you spin the wheel, and you slide around, nearly scraping against one of the businesses. Drive the other direction, slam on your brakes, and as you do so, you slide around, and your front bumper catches the rear fender as you slip it back into drive and begin going forward. Now following the taxi.
Literally, I said, they show you this at driving school, right?
Are they in view? Can I see faces?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna go into the back part of the window in the back seat, how it goes
Okay.
at an angle, and
Yep.
I'm just gonna start waving like this.
What in the? That capybara kidnapped them. No, I'm joking.
And making hand gestures to stop.
What do you think, Rosa?
You're the driver, amigo. But if you do stop, it's gonna take us longer to get the tequila.
I slow down a bit, seeing if the taxi slows down.
So, as the vehicle that it was pursuing now is riding behind it, the driver's like, what do you want me to do? Am I supposed to just stop here? It's right behind us.
We're out of eyesight of Benny's, right?
Yeah.
You know what? It's alright. We can just go home. And then he'll just have him drive him to his apartment.
All right.
I think we follow.
So you drive, roughly half a dozen blocks, and you're dropped off in front of your apartment.
Yeah. And then he will tip him as well as my peanut score allows.
Yeah, it's fine. That's a ride in a taxi does not require a roll. That's not. You're not going to go, belly up here.
So yeah, and then we'll just head inside. Hopefully, expecting Rosa and Boomer soon. Question mark.
Do Rosa and Boomer come back to the apartment, or do they go somewhere else?
The apartment.
All right. So the five of you, tromp up the stairs yet again to Tumbleweed's apartment. Settle down to discuss the happenings of everything that's unfolded in the last few hours.
So what was up with that rabbit?
Sugar hasn't actually told us what she gathered, so we don't know. At least not completely.
She works for Gambino, and she was trying to get us to join their club.
Oh, we can't just go, hopping from club to club. That would not be right.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I concur.
Yeah, but we don't want to make enemies either.
Ooh, that ship may have sailed. We've been making enemies all along.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so far, only Al Capone really hates us because we have some kind of carnivorous koala with us.
Well, and the cats.
That too.
We got police.
Yeah, they're not fond of us either.
Mm-mm.
But other than that, I mean, I feel like we're pretty well liked.
Yeah. For now. Do we have any shrimp escapades?
Oh, we might not be welcome back in that bar anymore too.
Yeah. Definitely can't go back to Benny's.
Oh, and Benny's, yeah.
I was gonna say that's not a bar. It's a breakfast joint. It's a diner, and
Well, I was talking about the what was the bar? Where Blue
Precious
Dudes
Key?
had
The one you exploded?
I mean, obviously it don't exist anymore, bud.
It travels. It'll come back. So yeah, other than that, I think we're doing pretty darn good.
I mean, aside from the fact that you two have had 2 altercations in front of the best diner in town.
That's just a little lover's tiff. No big deal.
I look at you.
Okay,
still.
good. I'm looking forward to you going in there and explaining that to them.
I got codependency issues. I can't help it.
No, you don't have codependency. That is absolutely not what you're gonna fucking say.
Come on, I'm getting into the role. We created this, guys, and I can't just let it go. I gotta live and breathe the moment.
I would like to continue to go to my favorite breakfast place for breakfast. And if you would not like to eat lead, you are going to feed them a line about how you keep punching him in the face for no reason.
We could just have Sugar
why do I
make
have
him
to be
up.
the
I
villain?
mean, you could.
Okay, it's not for no reason. He's a cheater and you're mad about it and it's very justifiable, but you keep doing it anyway and you probably shouldn't be getting physically violent, but he has no choice but to punch you back.
I mean, you could also say, like, maybe you're working on some sort of theater play type thing. We're just getting into character.
Right, and it isn't real and you're not really hitting each other, but regardless, you are going to figure something out that lets me get my frickin' breakfast. I want crepes. And they're the only place in town that does crepes correctly, and if you don't figure this out, I am going to make you pay for it. Do we understand each other?
You're
I
very
love
scary.
I love the fact that creating all of this false persona is the go-to rather than hey, I lied because I wanted to sneak out the back to see who was tailing us.
Look,
Rosa is a
Jonas
true-
doesn't know that's why they did it.
Rosa kind of forgot about that part and is just like he's living the lie now. He can't let it go.
Rosa is a true thespian, okay?
What I'm the most concerned about right now is Jonas's husband hears Jonas screaming in the building and is not home. And Jonas never raises his voice ever.
About crepes.
Well,
About crepe specifically.
in all fairness, I feel like Rosa and Boomer have that effect on people. Individually, but
No,
combined. Like,
imagine that there is a scene that does not actually happen on the screen where Jonas goes home and has to explain to his husband, like, no, my friends were just being dumbasses and made me more frustrated than you ever make me. I'm sorry.
yeah, that sounds accurate.
They threatened your access to crepes,
All right.
and it was too much.
I will figure something out before I return to your favorite diner.
Good.
do
Really
you mean?
think about it. Like, really actually put yourself in the shoes of a woman before you go do this.
We could just make up Boomer with a bunch of bruises with that wonderful disguise ability that Sugar has and has not been able to use yet because we keep forgetting about it.
Or we could just say it's a theater because I don't want to be known as a beater.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you could say you're doing a theater piece. You could also say you're both part of MMA and we're just rehearsing. That works too. It makes you come out looking like a badass, Rosa. Like, I'm fine with that as long as we can just go get crepes at my favorite breakfast place. That's all I'm saying. Why am I sounding more southern? The longer we go.
I am fully convinced no matter what line we go out with, like, oh, you're in a theater, I want to see a theater play, and now me and Rose are gonna have to perform or do an MMA match or some shit. Like, I like MMA. Oh.
It's just going to escalate and get worse from here.
Yeah, I'm certain of that.
All right, so we got time, you know. How often do you go to your breakfast joint? Oh, what if we break out? What if we break up in front of Benny's?
But then I won't be invited back.
I'm gonna figure this out. Yeah, we're gonna figure this out. You're gonna get crepes, and you'll probably be allowed back in.
All right. So, what do you guys do for the remainder of the evening?
I think Arthur just passes around hard drinks. And he will also go in, like, just kind of, I don't know what the word is, bustle into his kitchen and finds some almond cookies and brings them out, offers them around, and when they get to Jonas, he says, I know they're not crepes, but they're pretty good.
They are pretty good, and the crepes aren't the end all be all. I'm just... I have an emotional response occasionally, and I have an emotional attachment to that place. I had my first date there with my husband. I didn't want to make a big deal about that, but I need to be able to keep taking him there.
No, that makes perfect sense. And, you know, I think it's good that you're starting to open up just a little bit to the rest of us and show us another side that isn't just the cold and calculating killing machine that we've come to know and love.
I really hope that you understand why I kept doing that.
I do. You're an onion.
So,
Yeah.
the things to consider. Number one, Jonas, you weren't told you're not allowed back. You know, it's Boomer who's been told.
No, I understand that, but if my husband finds out I'm bringing a wife beater into their diner, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, in all fairness, he did throttle me in front of Betty a little bit.
You're not my wife.
However, if Jonas brought in,
You keep saying that.
if Jonas brought in some
Rosa!
method actors,
Break character. Break character, Rosa.
It's all
Um,
Sugar's fault.
so things that need to also be considered from a group perspective uh is you got to talk to Bunny. You got to finish the mission that she sent you on probably before you do so, and then you want to possibly have this sit down with Dolly. Is there anything else in the next several sessions that you guys want to get wrapped up before we wrap all this up?
I think the next thing we have to do is finish off the lieutenants or buy
Yeah.
them out.
Yeah.
And then we can meet with Bunny, and then we can meet with Dolly. But we got to tell Bunny that we're meeting with Dolly.
So we could do that.
I agree.
We could also rob Carlo Gambino even more. That occurs to me only because we just did it.
You guys are in a
So,
great
so
distraction.
let's put our heads together and figure out what kind of order plan you guys want to be able to direct this story as we get closer and closer to our little conclusion of Furton City. So with that, for those of you, thanks for watching. Don't forget to jump down the description below where you can find links to where you can find all these wonderful people when they're not here role-playing and making us all laugh here on Nerdarchy, as well as a link to the follow page for the Kickstarter. So you can be aware when we decide to relaunch our game and get this wonderful not plot, but rule book into everybody's hands that wants a copy. As well as you can also check back every Saturday on nerdarchy.com where we release new Zoo Mafia content and options for you to play this wonderful game. So until next time,